The Boston Celtics and their success throughout the season have been of some surprise to people following the league. After a rocky relationship with superstar Kyrie Irving, many people began to point fingers. Was there an issue with Coach Brad Stevens' inability to adjust with the ball-dominant superstar? Was last season a product of Kyrie Irving's hot and cold demeanor? Or were the young players just not receptive to following the lead of the NBA champion point guard? After losing Kyrie Irving to Brooklyn and replacing him with Kemba, and also losing Horford to Philly, this season was a defining moment for Boston's young core. With questions of who's overrated or not floating around in the media, the duo of Jaylen Brown and JAYSON Tatum have answered the bell. With the third best record in the conference and on pace to surpass last year's wins totals behind their next level of play, it's difficult to argue that collectively, these two aren't destined for greatness if they stay together. What's up? This is Greg from Around the Hoops Podcast, and in this video, we deep dive into Boston Celtics wings Jaylen Brown and JAYSON Tatum, who are quieting doubters and having breakout seasons, and how they could potentially be one of the great duos of the future. Welcome to In and Out. I remember not too long ago asking the guys on the pod about the Boston Celtics and what to make of their success. And everyone spoke to their strong team play, but on this day, Brian stated how Jaylen Brown was actually better player of the two between him and JAYSON Tatum. Not even 2 weeks from that statement, JAYSON locked in, having arguably the best stretch of his career, averaging 30 points on 49% field goal shooting. The funny thing is, I don't think this is the moment where we can just say Brian was wrong. Trust me, I've never had an issue doing it when it was deserving, but this is a special case. How many times have we seen two players who literally play the same position on the same team around the same age, potentially having the same ceiling, and are reaching it simultaneously? It's intriguing. I tried to do some digging, and the closest thing I could come up with in my lifetime were cousins Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter while they were in Toronto together. Normally, when organizations are met with this dilemma, they automatically go all in on one and shop the other. However, Boston Celtics GM Danny Ainge seems to be all in on both, and rightfully so. Brown and Tatum are leading the team in scoring this season and have shown why they are both forces individually. JAYSON Tatum was selected for his first All-Star game this year, and it's well deserved. People are igniting him as a superstar, and some are going as far as putting him in the same air as Paul Pierce and Larry Bird as the next great Celtic forward. And from what I've seen, he's on his way. We are watching him ascend. Since the All-Star break, he's been putting up ridiculous numbers. He's the fifth player in Celtic history to average 30 points in an entire month alongside IT, Pierce, Havlicek, and Bird. And he's 22. JAYSON is picking up right where he left off before Kyrie arrived, as if his struggles were an anomaly. A brief glitch in his system, and now everything is back on go. And it's not going unnoticed. After playing the Lakers and putting on one of the strongest performances in the loss, LeBron James had no choice but to show the young in love on Instagram. Yet one of the more enlightening thoughts came from Coach Brad Stevens saying, "Tatum's greatest strength to me is his emotional ability to be great at any moment, and his ability to learn something quickly." That's some high praise that I gotta agree with. The key to his success and his growth is not only found in his skill to score on all three levels effectively, but it's the assertiveness to actually do it. Looking at some of his draft class contemporaries, we can't attribute that trait to them. He's been, to me, the bright spot in his class, rivaling maybe Donovan Mitchell. And the more he plays, the more he realizes that not many people can actually stop him. And that's a problem. That's a problem the league is going to have to deal with for a long time. I found an interesting stat from Chris Forsberg with NBC Sports Boston. There are 18 players in the NBA this season averaging better than 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. It's pretty much the entire All-Star rosters. Who else is in there? Jaylen Brown. I'm convinced Jaylen Brown is a future All-Star, All-Defense player in this league, and his improvement this season is nothing to gloss over. The 23-year-old wing out of Cal is averaging career highs across the board, with 20 points and 6 boards on an improved field goal percentage. This year, he's playing with a level of confidence that honestly I believe he's always had. And in an interview with Yaron Weitzman of VR Mag, he talks about the struggles of last season and having doubts about his future with the team coming into this year. But according to him, one of the keys to his success is having the space and opportunity to make it happen, saying, quote, "Sometimes you're as good as the role you're in. And right now, it's hard to argue with that. With his increased role in minutes, his efficiency and impact has followed suit, and he's establishing himself as one of the premier two-way players in the Eastern Conference, something that was hard to determine playing a limited role with the excess of talent the team had last year." Like I mentioned before, we are watching one of the more intriguing duos of a generation because their circumstance is completely different from others. We've heard about how D-Wade and Bron and how they battled amongst each other and pushed one another to be better in South Beach, and I see the same in Tatum and Brown. The relentless desire to improve is in both of them. On multiple occasions from teammates and coaches, you hear about their hunger for growth and neither one of them being satisfied with where they are. I believe having each other around provides a level of competition that is healthy amongst teammates. It's kind of necessary when you're so young in your career. For those who are quick to compare Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I would say you have a point to an extent. But Kawhi and PG both were able to develop and grow in two separate organizations as the number one option and best talent before teaming up. Even James Harden and Russell Westbrook didn't become all NBA players until they were both given the keys to their own teams. That's why this is so special. This isn't Shaq and Kobe where one is the big and the other is the guard and we dominate our respective areas and grow within that. These are two guys who are doing the same things night in and night out, and neither potential seems to be stifled or stunted. They complement one another so well, both willing to commit on the defensive end. You see them constantly switching assignments. On the offensive side of the ball, Tatum's ability to get hot and make tough shots allows Brown to find moments and pockets within the game where he's free to work and get his own rhythm, making it almost impossible to double, especially when Kemba and Hayward are on the floor as well. It's beautiful, and it seems that this is something that can only improve from here. Sometimes as hoop fans, we get caught up in comparisons, and this is a moment where we should just enjoy what's in front of us. They are becoming the best version of themselves as teammates, and that's scary for the rest of the league. And as easy it is to split and team up with other stars in this league, I hope they see what they have in each other. But hey, time will tell. Alright y'all, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more videos like this, leave a like and share it with another hoop head. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications to keep up whenever we drop something new. Oh, and leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of Jaylen Brown and JAYSON Tatum. Do you think they're the best young duo in the league? As I always say, eat, sleep, breathe the game. We love you. I'm out.